Hey iPhone users, Peter from Panda here. Got myself a Prong power case. This is the latest generation of the Prong power case. You may have seen my video from probably years ago. The Prong power case for my iPhone 5 at the time. The cool thing about this is it has these deployable prongs, so you can plug it into any outlet. No need to carry a battery charger, adapter, cord, etc., etc. This one is unique because it has a protective bumper case and then the case itself. So this one's for the iPhone 6 and 6S. I'm going to try it with my iPhone 6S. I thought I'd show you, unbox it here. It comes in this little cardboard book type of thing, and you open it up, and the case is right here. It says live cord free. The packaging is awesome. It is way nicer than I expected. So let's open it up and take the case out. This is where the money is. There is a user manual right there and a micro USB cord on this side, which is cool. Now, the interesting thing about this case is that it comes in two separate pieces. Everything's polycarbonate. First of all, it is this nice high quality bumper, and it has a kind of a clear polycarbonate backing, so you can see all your iPhone in all its glory. There's a couple of holes here, maybe just for ventilation, and it's pretty nice, but it's a pretty standard bumper. It's a flexible plastic rubberized. It's not really black. It's kind of a dark gray, and I don't know if there's anything, I don't think there's any other color choices. Cutouts for the lightning port, headphone jack, and speaker there, and a raised portion here for the power button. And then on the flip side, you have a cutout for your mute switch, and then the raised sections here for volume up and volume down, and the Prong logo in there. So kind of cool. There's a cutout here all the way across the top of an open spot there for your camera, and then the whole top part, which I think is the antenna. So let's take a look at the bottom part, and this is kind of where all of the innovation is, I would say. So the battery is a 2600 milliamp lithium polymer battery, and this is where it's at. So, a thick case, if you think of your iPhone as this size, this thing actually slides right into it. No problems going in. And it's a little bit loose, so you wouldn't probably carry both of these pieces together, but maybe when the iPhone gets in there, it'll kind of spread it out and make it fit in there nice and tight. You can see the lightning port, or the lightning plug right there that the iPhone would slip into. I would just presume it has to be a little bit raised because the bumper is going to take up a little bit of that space. A cutout here for speakers and microphone, etc., etc. The power button right there, micro USB in, pass through for the headphone jack, or a hole through the headphone jack, and then the case. Now you can see that the back, obviously the back of the iPhone will be right here, so it's almost going to double it in thickness, but it's nicely rounded and contoured. It's almost more comfortable to hold in your hand because it gives you a little bit more gripping space, especially if you have fat hands. Not like me, but if you have fat hands. And then here is all of the cool innovation where Prong gets its name. It's these two outlet prongs, and I think you just lift up on both sides. There's a little gear in between that keeps them synced up, and then you just plug that sucker right into the wall. Now, I would say you probably want vertically oriented outlet jacks, so that the phone is sitting up like it is in this picture. If it's sideways, I think it might kind of twist on the prongs, and then secondly, you're going to have additional weight with the phone in there. So vertical only, but I don't think it should be a problem. Really cool kind of little deployment mechanism there with the Prong logo. So now the next thing we need to do is get the phone in here and get it and play around with it. So first things first, you've got to install your phone into the bumper case, and I'm just going to put it in sideways like this and press it in. Like I said, the rubber is malleable, so it goes in really easily, and all the ports and everything look good. The volume buttons work fine, and power button works fine. So that's pretty good to go. And then if you slide it into the case, or into the charging case, it slides in there, and I already have a little power on this case, so it's going to start charging right away. The power button right here, if I hold it in for 3 seconds, it goes off, and if I tap it, it goes back on. So that's kind of generally the functionality of the case. You can also charge it here with a micro USB cord, which is also included. Now I will say the headphone jack there is pretty deep, so you're probably going to need, it's got to go through the case and the bumper case there. So unless you have like a really thin headphone jack, it might not fit, and it's certainly if it's an elbow joint, it's not going to work at all. Cool thing about here is you can carry this case on the phone, and everything up here still is exposed and functional. So you can still take pictures, shoot video, have full access to the flash. It's also not covering up the antenna up here, so you don't have a lot of material and battery up there as well. As you can see, it's kind of like a 747 upper deck. It definitely doubles the width of the phone or the thickness, but it's really comfortable in your hand, and the texture is just slightly rubberized, just very slightly rubberized. It's actually, I don't know if you've used the Amazon Fire tablets, but a very similar feel on the plastic back there. And obviously there's no problem with the lightning jack fitting into the port there. I also want to mention here, kind of like I suspected, when you put the bumper on the phone and then you slide the bumper into the case, right here, it's a good fit. It's not tight. You can see it slides in and out, but as soon as you get to the bottom, it starts to tighten up down here a little bit. So you have to use a little bit of force to press it in. And then obviously once it's in, and since the case is already turned on, it's charging, but I don't have to worry about it falling out. It's in there pretty good. And the cool thing here is the cutouts here that allow for the extra material to hit the power button, and then also the volume button is really well thought out, and it's slotted to fit right neatly into the charging case. So you have easy access to all those buttons, and it's just really well thought out. So I dig it. So you can definitely carry it with the prong charging case on the outside and get full use out of it. Or if you're going to leave the case, say, plugged in somewhere and just carry this around, it works great too. And this is a really nice case with nice protection, and nobody would know that this case is anything but just like an Apple bumper protection on the back there. So let's go ahead and plug it in and show you how that works. Alright, so I have a vertical charger here, and here's the prong case. Like I said, it's nice that the prongs are super flush there. They actually hide in this cutout. Flip them up, you just lift it out like this, and then you can plug this sucker in to any vertical outlet, just like that. Now, you'll notice that there are some LEDs up here, so this case is actually pretty close to fully charged. It's probably at least 75% charged because it's flashing on the last light there. So you can plug it in and charge it, but if you also want to charge your phone at the same time, you just slide the phone in there too. Now, I'd probably recommend sliding your phone in prior to plugging it in, but it's not hard either way. And like I said, you just want to kind of grab the whole thing so that you don't end up pushing the phone against the prongs itself. That's pretty much it. It is really as simple as that, and I'm really impressed. Now the case will continue to charge the phone even though I pull it out here, assuming that it's on. And then just flip these prongs back down and you're good to go. Of course, if you want to keep letting the case charge without having to worry about missing calls or what have you, you can always separate them. So it's a lot like the Enterprise D, hull section and battle section. They're great together, but certainly can be separated and at when needed. So Peter von Panda for the Prong 2600 milliamp portable charger case for the iPhone 6 and 6S. I think it's great. Check it out. Put a link in the description. Out!